On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative and the nomination is confirmed.
President.
Majority Leader.
I move to reconsider the vote on the nomination.
Question is on the motion to reconsider.
I move to table the motion to reconsider.
Question is on the motion to table. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the motion to table is agreed to.
Today is Tuesday, February 7, 2017. And today's big story, today's big brouhaha, the big kerfuffle going on right now is Betsy DeVos. Now, there's a big controversy over her selection as the next Secretary of Education. There's pushback coming from the left, of course, and also coming from the right a little bit. People are kind of confused. I've been getting a lot of comments on my social media asking me to do a video about this. Shout out to all of y'all for giving me motivation to do this video today. But there's a lot of confusion, and I did a little bit of reading and research like I always do to kind of clear things up as to why people are kind of, not really wanting her to come into office. Now, let's talk about the left first. On the left, their viewpoint is pretty clear. It's pretty clear why they don't want Betsy DeVos. The first reason is because it's a Trump appointee. So anything relating to Trump, anything dealing with Trump at all, they're going to be against right away. It was the same thing with Jeff Sessions. They want to call him racist. People like Cory Booker want to go out there and have this whole big campaign against him, going to the actual hearing, the confirmation hearing, and having this big long speech, even though just 1 year before he was praising him. Stuff like that goes on a lot with any Trump appointee. So with Betsy DeVos, it's no different. Like I said, Democrats are going to be Democrats regardless, but you also have people that are with the teachers' unions that have called Democrats over and over and over again to voice their displeasure with somebody that wants to have school choice and private school vouchers, because that could damage public schools. They're thinking by way of these vouchers and trying to have an emphasis on charter schools and et cetera, then that would pretty much ruin the public school system, therefore ruining their jobs. So of course they want to have job security. Therefore, somebody like Betsy DeVos may pose a threat to their jobs. So really, it's not so much about the education of the children, which should be the main focus of the Secretary of Education. The detractors that are on the left, many of whom are with the teachers' unions, they do not like her because she represents a threat to their jobs, not because of anything dealing with the kids. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why there's problems on the left and a little bit on the right as well, but I'll get to them a little bit later. And why are the liberals so against school choice? Why is that? Why are so many of them mostly white? Not trying to be racist, but let's just kind of follow the train of thought. If you want to be a leftist and if you want to look at everything through the eyes of race, why do you have so many of these liberals that are white who are so vehemently against school choice, which will help black kids? It's almost like they're racist. Maybe they don't want people to look like me to come to their school. I mean, when have you ever seen anything like that happen before in history? But more about the left, they think that she's going to be somebody that like puts a church inside of each school because she's a proponent of prayer in school. So I've heard. I'm not quite sure if that's 100% true or false. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But she did go to a Christian college school called Calvin College, and her name is very well known there. By the way, Betsy DeVos is heir to the Amway fortune. And her family is very well known. Like I said, at the Calvin College, the DeVos name is very well known, as is her maiden name, which I'll get to right now. And I'll talk about the right, why some of them don't like her. Now, on the right, some say that she has funded Common Core initiatives. Now, like I say, I'm not quite sure if that's true or false, but maybe it is. She has a lot of money. She's been in Michigan schools, trying to be like an activist there. She's never been a teacher or anything like that. She's never been an educator, but she has been kind of an activist. She's been involved with politics for a very long time. She was nominated, I think, to the Michigan Republican Party as a chair, I think 4 times. Her husband tried to run for governor in 2006, but was not successful. But she is very well known in Michigan. She's very well known at Calvin College. She's also just very well known in the political sphere in general. But people on the right don't like the fact that she may be a proponent of Common Core. Like I said, there's been some initiatives that she's been rumored to fund. Her and her husband have been rumored to fund, even though after the actual election, after her nomination, she has come out publicly against Common Core. So her involvement with Common Core as a new Secretary of Education has yet to be realized. We don't know if she's really going to be a proponent or an opponent. So we really don't know what's going on with that. But some on the right fear that she may be a proponent of Common Core, even though Common Core is not a federal mandate. That's one thing we kind of got to get out of the way now. Betsy DeVos has a federal position and Common Core is not a federal mandate. The thing with Common Core was some people said that public schools were pressured into adopting Common Core because it would put them better in line to be able to get federal funding. That's what I've been hearing from people. That's kind of what the general gist of it is. Now, I hope that she does not do any of that. If she has power over that, whether schools get money or not, if they're kind of aligned with Common Core, hopefully she does not do that. And if she wants to have Common Core, hopefully it'll be better than what it is right now. I'm not against any kind of federal thing if the federal thing makes sense. If the federal thing does not make sense, then why have it? But that's a big part of the reason why the right does not like her, because of the whole Common Core thing. And also some people on the right, like I said earlier, they're involved with the teachers unions as well. So they don't want to have any of their constituents' jobs, maybe even their own jobs, jeopardized because she may come in and empower the private schools and the charter schools with vouchers and school choice, therefore kind of weakening the public school system. She's not come out and said that she wants to eradicate public schools. That's what I've been hearing a lot as well. People are saying that she wants to kill the public school system. She wants to put Jesus Christ in every classroom, but that's not really true. She's not really a religious activist like that, even though she is religious. Her main thing, from what I've been able to see, from what I've been able to gather throughout my reading and my research, is just for the best interest of the child. A lot of these people that are detractors had the best interest of their own pocketbook, maybe of their constituents' pocketbook, but not of the actual children that are in these schools. You have to understand these schools are kind of like warehouses to a certain point. When you're looking in the eyes of a person that has money on their brain, they're thinking, okay, we got a certain amount of kids in these classrooms. How much can we get paid? How much do they cost? It's all about numbers. But at a certain point, it's got to be about the education of the children. Now, you got some on the left that are just freaking out. Not politicians per se, but just regular everyday Joes. They're freaking out. They're saying that she's going to kill the public school system. She's going to ruin public education. But I'm like, public education is in a terrible state right now. I mean, you got schools, systems like Detroit, Michigan, which is her home state, which she has fought to try to improve, along with people like Jalen Rose. Shout out to Jalen Rose, former NBA player who has a charter school in Detroit called the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. If you want to donate to his school, I'll leave a link in the box below. But she's been a proponent of these kind of schools to be able to help these kids in Detroit, where the literacy rate has been compared to the Central African Republic, right? We're in the United States. So how is that happening? At a certain point, something's got to be done. And you really can't get too much worse than that. When you're talking about comparing the public school system in the USA, in a major city, by the way, to a third world country, it doesn't make any sense. And at a certain point, something's got to be done. The left is just fear mongering. A lot of that comes from the media because everything against Trump is good in their eyes. So they're going to be against Trump, and everything that could possibly shake up the status quo, that could mess with the teachers unions, that could do a lot of these different things that may kind of get people uncomfortable, that is against what they represent. So they're going to rail against it in the news media. And then that kind of trickles down to the average everyday Joe that is not really familiar with politics like that, but they listen to MSNBC, CNN, MSDNC, pardon me, all these fake news channels. And then they get kind of embedded with that, and then they go out and act. So you may see people out there picketing and protesting for Betsy DeVos. But if you ask them, why is she a bad person? Why do you not like her? They wouldn't really have much. They'll just kind of repeat what they have been told on the news media, if anything at all. They may not even remember what they heard on the news media. All they remember is the negativity that the news media projected towards her. So they have that feeling that they remember, but they don't remember anything of any substance. They're freaking out because the liberal media is freaking out, but they don't really know why they're freaking out. The average Joe, that is. The liberal media, they have their own narrative to push. That's why they're freaking out. Oh, and two more things about why Betsy DeVos why people on the right don't really like her too much. The first thing is because of her brother, a man named Eric Prince. Now, if you don't know who Eric Prince is, he is the founder of a company called Blackwater. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about that company. There's a lot of facts about that company, but we can go into a whole big rabbit hole about that. So I digress. But the next thing is that some want to actually abolish the Department of Education, which is what Betsy DeVos would be over. But if you do that, then that kind of would just take her job away. So some don't want her to be there because they don't want that agency to be there that she will overrun. But at the same time, I think that if you're going to have any kind of federal money that comes down to the schools, then there should be some kind of, oversight as to how it gets distributed from a federal level, at least a little bit. But I do think that there should be more emphasis on the local school systems and allow them to be able to control how they want to operate themselves. I think that'd be the best thing for anybody that wants to have a voucher system or school choice, because that'll give the parents and the students much more ability to be able to pick a school that best suits them. So let's say you're not really good at math and science. You're not really a math whiz. You kind of, struggling in science, but you are good with your hands. You're good with your hands. You enjoy to create things. You enjoy woodworking, carpentry, etc., soldering, welding, whatever it is. Okay, cool. A school across town, they have a good vocational arts program. They got a good program to be able to get you in to learn how to get better at those skills. So then when you graduate, you're able to go to an apprenticeship, you're able to go to a trade school or whatever. You're able to go into your next step, whether that's just working, whether it's getting more education or whatever. You're able to go there with a good foundation upon which to build. See, that school may be better for you, but for somebody else, they may want to go to the actual math and science school or the school that does that better. You see, when you got federal mandates, that may not necessarily be the case. So I think that just makes perfect sense. I don't think Betsy DeVos would do anything like that as far as having, like one thing for all the schools. I'm not sure she can do that. I don't think she has the power to do so. But like I said, if we had more power given to the states and the cities, maybe even to each school within the city, each district, that'll make the education much better for the children that are involved. So that's pretty much all I got. It's kind of confusing, but at the end of the day, I think people on the left, they just really hate Trump. They don't like her potentially introducing prayer into school, even though it's not really been said. But she is a Christian. She went to a Christian school. So that is kind of in question. They don't like Christianity, I suppose, and they don't like the public school system being threatened as the way it is. The teachers' unions don't like their jobs being threatened, so that's part of it. That's like I said before, it's not really about the kids. It's about their own personal situation. It's about their jobs, right? And people on the right, they're mostly concerned about Common Core, Eric Prince, and actually the federal overreach that she may be engaging in, even though I doubt she has that power to do so. So what do you think about Betsy DeVos? Do you think she's a good choice? Do you know more about her than I do? Are you from Michigan? Have you had personal experiences with her? If you do, let me know in the comments below. But do you think that she'd be a bad person? She'd be a good person? Whatever it is, like I say, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.